What if your father was one of the greatest actors in Hollywood history, but refused to help you succeed? Most people think being Denzel Washington's son guarantees an easy life. But for John David Washington, his famous last name was not a shortcut. It was a weight. Today, we're telling the true story of how John David Washington had to earn his place in Hollywood. Without favors, without protection, and without shortcuts. This is Hollywood Heirs, where fame is inherited, but legacy is earned. Denzel Washington is not just a movie star. He is a symbol of excellence, discipline, and respect. With multiple Academy Awards, decades of iconic performances, and a reputation for integrity, Denzel represents the highest level of success in Hollywood. But behind the fame is a man with a very strict philosophy about parenting. Denzel has said many times that his job was not to raise famous children, but to raise good human beings. And that belief shaped his relationship with his son in ways most people never expected. Before acting, John David Washington wanted nothing to do with Hollywood. His first dream was football. He played college football and later became a professional running back in the NFL's developmental league. But here's the shocking part. Denzel Washington did not attend his son's football games. Not because he didn't care, but because he didn't want his presence to create pressure, entitlement, or distraction. John David failed in football. His professional career ended quietly. No headlines, no safety net, no famous father stepping in to fix things. For many people, that would have been the end. But for John David, it was the beginning. After football, John David decided to try acting. But unlike what many people assume, he did not walk into leading roles. He worked behind the scenes as a production assistant, learning the industry from the ground up. Casting directors didn't see Denzel's son. They saw an unproven actor who had to audition like everyone else. John David faced rejection after rejection, and instead of calling his father for help, he stayed silent. Denzel later admitted that he intentionally stayed out of his son's career, because struggle builds character. In Hollywood, where nepotism is common, this decision was rare. John David's breakthrough came when director Spike Lee cast him in BlacKkKlansman. The performance shocked critics, not because of his last name, but because of his presence, discipline, and depth. Suddenly, the conversation changed. He wasn't Denzel's son anymore. He was John David Washington. From there, roles followed. Tenet, Malcolm and Marie, The Creator. Each performance proved the same thing. This was not inherited talent. This was earned skill. Denzel once said something powerful. "I didn't help my son because I wanted him to know he could do it himself." This philosophy goes against what many parents, famous or not, would do. But it worked. John David developed confidence not based on privilege, but on perseverance. Their relationship is built on respect, not rescue. And that's the true legacy Denzel passed on. Being born into fame doesn't guarantee success. In many cases, it makes failure more public and pressure more intense. Hollywood heirs don't just inherit opportunity, they inherit expectations. And very few survive that weight. John David Washington did, and because he was allowed to struggle. John David Washington's story proves something powerful. Fame can open doors, but only character keeps them open. Denzel Washington didn't give his son a career. He gave him discipline, patience, and belief. And that is why this story belongs on Hollywood Heirs. Because fame is inherited, but legacy is earned.